Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well this evening. We want you to welcome you to the second second part or part two of the brand new development series with the JNF Enterprises and Black Professional Men (BPM). So I'm your host for these sessions, and this is Leroy McKenzie. My name is Leroy McKenzie Jr. I am the president and CEO of JNF Enterprises, and we want to welcome you again. Thanks for joining in. We are actually going to get started in a couple of minutes. I'm kind of filming from a couple of different recording, I should say, not filming, but recording from a couple of different monitors. So don't mind me if I'm not looking directly at the camera, then I'm probably looking at the other camera to kind of give them some time too. So, but I want to welcome you to the part two in the brand new development series with Black Professional Men and JNF Enterprises. Again, I'm your host, Leroy McKenzie Jr. We want to welcome you tonight. We're going to be doing, tonight, we're going to be discussing, the topic for tonight, is actually, what does your 2018 business look like, part two. And that actually has to do with going into your vision, your purpose, and your brand, and assisting you in being able to assess where you are right now, because we are 7 months into 2018, and we want to reflect on where we've come from for the first 6 months, and then where we have to go to in the next 6 months. So you want to take a look at that. You want to, we're going to be doing some work. This is an interactive development series. So you're going to have assignments. You're going to have things that I want you to do to be able to get you properly trained, give you some knowledge and information about you, your business, your brand, that will assist you in taking you to that next level of your business. So we're going to get started. I'm not going to, I don't like to belabor. I just like to get right into the meat of everything so that we can get what we need, get the knowledge, get the information, get the resources that we need in order to be able to be who it is that we're trying to be. Just to give you a little bit of information about me, just to let you know, as I mentioned, I'm the president and CEO of JNF Enterprises. And what JNF Enterprises is we are a distribution, publishing, and business consulting firm located here in Baltimore, Maryland. And what we are is a business consulting firm, distribution, publishing, and business consulting firm located here in Baltimore, Maryland. And what we do is we offer book publishing services for aspiring authors, as well as authors who are already have books that are out in the marketplace, but are looking to do more marketing, looking to do more branding for their particular book, for their particular book that they have out, or that they have coming out. We also do business consulting for aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking to start a business, and then we also work with those entrepreneurs that are looking to grow their particular business by gaining more market share, by doing branding themselves, branding their business. So that's a little bit about me, who we are, what we do. We offer we have different products and services that we offer when it comes to business consulting. We have our entrepreneur kit, as well as our marketing plans and branding strategies that we put together, along with a plethora of other projects. Tonight, Black Professional Men, we're here to bring you some information, some knowledge and resources that will assist you as business owners, as professionals, in order to be able to have your business, you and your business, be as effective and as successful as possible. My assignment tonight is to give to you those tools that will equip you in order to be able to do just that, what I said. Equip you with those tools that you need in order to be able to take your business from where you are to where you want to actually be. And as I mentioned, we at the beginning of this year, my mission for this year was to make not only myself, but to make others better by the end of 2018 than they were at the beginning of 2018. And when I sat down and I thought about how I was going to be able to do that and what that looked like, I developed certain processes, certain things that I put together in order to be able to not only work with myself, but also my clients that I have, so that we could be, by the end of 2018, we could be better. How were we going to be better? We were going to be better by implementing certain steps in our business, certain steps in our branding, certain steps in our marketing, certain steps in how we went about doing business. And we're going to talk a little bit about those things this evening. So this evening, what I'm going to started off with the question was what does your 2018 business look like? What does your 2018 business look like? And I want you to take a look at that from 3 different perspectives. And that's what's the vision that you have for your business, what's the purpose that you have for your business, and what's the brand of your business. And what I mean by brand is what does your business stand for? What are those core things that when people think about your business, what is it that they think about? That's what your brand is. So we're going to be discussing those things this evening. And if you weren't with me or don't know much about me or haven't heard me speak before, as I mentioned, the first part of the year, we started off talking about the same thing. Well, now we're 6 months in, and as I said, we want to go back and first do an assessment of the first 6 months. What was it that you had planned to do this year, 6 months in? Where did you want to be at this point in your business? What was it that you said when you started in December or November last year and you started thinking about 2018 and where you wanted to be as far as your business was concerned? Where are you now in respect to that plan that you had? So that's the first thing that we want to have you do this evening, is to start to think about that. Where do you see yourself? If I would ask you right now, are you where you want to be in your business right now for 2018? And if your answer is yes, great. That's fantastic. You're right on schedule for doing and accomplishing what it is that you want to accomplish for 2018. If you weren't able to be, or if the answer is no, you aren't where you think you should be as far as 2018, then what happened? What were those things? What were those obstacles that kept you from being who you were, to now saying, okay, those were the obstacles and this is what I need to do in order to be able to get me to where it is that I want to be by the end of 2018. So those are the things that we are discussing this evening. So, and I have 5 parts that I'm going to be discussing this evening. So we have 5 parts. Part 1 is just what I just talked about. Is what does your 2018 business look like? What's your vision? And your vision is nothing more is what you see for your business. Where is it that you want your business to be? Where you are right now, where you were back at the beginning of 2018, and then where do you see it by the end of 2018? And that's key, to see it from those three perspectives. Where you were at the beginning of 2018, where you are now in the middle of 2018, and then where you want to be by the end of 2018. And by the end of this session, by the end of this presentation, we want you to have in place those action steps, that game plan, that implementation, those things that you can implement right now, starting tonight, that you can implement that is going to get you from July 16th, which is today, to December 31st, 2018. That's what we're about tonight. That's what we're going to do tonight. That's our mission. That's our purpose. And that's our theme and topic for this evening, and what we're going to do. So we first talk about your vision. What is your vision for your business? Where is it that you see your business in 2018? Are you for your vision? Is your business in the proper position that it's supposed to be in for 2018? Are you where you want to be as far as positioning for your business? Is your business operating in the capacity that it should be operating in? Meaning, is your financial aspect of your business organized? Is your budget is your budget in place for yourself? Is your marketing plan in place, on track? Which is your brand? Your branding strategy in place and intact for this year. Those are all the things that are part of your vision, and where you see and what you see your business doing this year. So your vision is about seeing that overall perspective, like I said, from seeing it from the beginning, where you were at the beginning of January. And you really want to sit down with this, and you don't have to do it right now, of course, but you want to sit with this over the next couple of days. You really want to sit with that, and you want to analyze and be honest with yourself. Be truthful with yourself as far as your business is concerned, and what you're doing in your business and for your business. If you are performing at that premium level, that's great. You want to make sure that you keep operating at that level. You keep doing what it is that you're doing. You may have some things that you kind of say, okay, well, that didn't work well, this did work well. You want to do all of that analysis of your business as a part of your vision for where you're going forward. Because those things that didn't work in the first 6 months, you may need to adjust. Being able to adjust to what needs to be done, and say, well, I shouldn't, that didn't work because of this, or that didn't work because of that. Having that honest talk with yourself about that aspect of your business will allow you to be able to be where you want to be by the end of 2018. The second thing with your vision has to do with, like I said, with your marketing plan. What was your marketing plan for this year? Did you have a marketing plan? Do you need to develop a marketing plan? And if you need a marketing plan, then you need to sit down and work on what that marketing plan looks like. Sit down and talk about the different aspects of your marketing, whether it's whether it's doing more advertising, whether it's doing more social media, whether it's doing more sponsorships, whether it's doing doing an assessment of your products and your services that you may offer. If you offer a product, what is working with your product? What's the best things about your product? If it's a service, then what is it that you're doing well with your service? Those services that you offer. So those are the things that you're going to talk about from the overall perspective with your vision. The second thing is your purpose. What's the purpose of your business? And I've said this this weekend time and time again, and I've been harping on this year. Every chance that I get, everyone that I talk to, my clients that I tell, is you have to operate from the perspective that you are the answer to someone's problem. I'm gonna say that again. Write this down. You are the answer to someone's problem. And you're not the answer to everyone's problem, but you are the answer to someone's problem. There's a difference. There's a difference between someone and everyone. You're not going to be the answer to everyone's problem, but you are the answer to someone's problem. And you have to, doing that assessment that I talked about, allows you to be able to understand the answer that you are, and then whose problem you solve. I'm going to say that again. By doing the assessment of your business, you get to understand who the answer that you are and whose problem that you solve. Because that's what you are as a business. Every business is the answer to someone's problem. So you want to make sure that you understand what answer you are. Because if you know what answer that you are, then when you talk to someone, you can determine whether or not you are the answer to their particular problem. When you can honestly say, yes, I am the answer to your problem, or no, I'm not the answer to your problem, then you allow yourself to be able to move on and not have to waste your time with those people that you know that you're not the answer to their problem for. So that understanding your purpose from that perspective gives you a element and understanding that a lot of businesses and some entrepreneurs don't truly understand right now. So we want to make sure that you understand that. We want to give you that tool right now. So to write down your purpose, but you want to understand what answer are you? What problem do you solve? And that will give you the answer. That will give you whose problem you are the answer for. You don't want to come from a perspective of always thinking of problems. You always want to come from the perspective of being the answer. As entrepreneurs should have the mindset of being the answer. Be the answer to someone's problem. Be the answer to someone's problem. And I guarantee you will be successful at what it is that you do, because you won't waste time with individuals who you're not the answer for, and you won't have to kind of feel your way around to finding those people who you want the answer for, because you'll put yourself in the position, and then we'll talk about that positioning a little later. We'll talk about how to position yourself to be where those people who have that problem that you are the answer for, and putting yourself in the position in order to be able to find them and to be able to gain your clients and customers from being in that position. So that's your purpose. That's your purpose, and you want to understand. You understand that perspective and that purpose, your purpose. And then the third thing is your brand. What is your brand? Think about that long. Think about that hard, because you really want to understand what your brand is. And your brand is nothing more than what people say about you when you're not around. When you think about particular brands, you think about culture, a specific culture. You think about a specific foundation of who they are, and then you think about a kind of a mantra that they have. So that's what you want to think about when it comes to your brand. You want to think about your culture as a brand. You think about your culture as a brand, your what people say about you as a brand, your kind of foundation, and then your mantra. And I give people this example of myself, of JNF Enterprises, and even Black Professional Men. I'll do Black Professional Men first. The brand of Black Professional Men is securing the future of the African American male. That's who they are. That's who BPM, that's who Black Professional Men are. That's who we are as an organization. We are those who are looking to secure the future of the African American male. What problem do they solve? They solve the problem of securing the future of the African American male. That's everything that Black professional men does is formed from that premise. Everything that we do, from the community outreach to the tools that you get, such as this, has to do with that premise. Everything feeds off of that. So you want to make sure that your business does the same thing. What is the foundation? What is your business built on? Black Professional Men is built on securing the future of the African American male. J&F Enterprises, which is my company, is to enlighten, empower, and impact the community, people in the communities that we are a part of. How do we do that? And what do I mean by enlighten, empower, and impact? I mean when you enlighten someone, you teach them something. When you empower someone, you actually equip them with something. And then the third thing is you impact them to want to do something. So that everything that J&F Enterprises does has to do with those three elements. It has to include those three elements. It has to enlighten you, it has to empower you, and it has to impact you. It's going to teach you something, it's going to equip you with something, and it's going to impact you to want to do something. What are we doing tonight? I'm teaching you something, I'm enlightening you by giving you some things that you might not have heard or that you might not have thought about, hopefully giving you some knowledge and information that you might not have had you not tuned in to this particular webinar that we have going on with the brand new development series that you might not have gotten had you not listened to this or watched this. So that's the enlightened part. The empowering part is to equip you. We want to equip you, and that's my mission tonight, is to equip you. Equip you with the tools that you need in order to be able to be a successful entrepreneur, to be a successful entrepreneur, a successful male or female, if those that are listening as well. And then to be successful in life too, because some of these aspects can be, that we're talking about tonight, can be applied to your personal life too. So you think about it. Think about your vision. What's your vision for your life? What is it that you want to do? What's your purpose for your life? What do you want to, what do you want to achieve? And then the brand for your life is what you want people to say about you, when they talk about you. Because that's important to me, because when I hear about people and they talk about me, I want them to think about certain things. When my name comes up, when J&F Enterprises comes up, I want them to think certain things about me. I want them to, like I said, I want to think about enlightenment, empowerment, and impactfulness, because I want to impact people. I want to influence people. That's something that I've been talking about this weekend as well, is about being an influencer. As an entrepreneur, you are an influencer. You are an influencer in your community. You are an influencer in your family. You are an influence nationwide if that's where your business takes you. So you want to think about those perspectives when it comes to your business and when it comes to your brand. When people think about you, think about being an influencer and the impact that you have. I think about the impact that Black Professional Men has had on the city. With all that's going on here in Baltimore City, you have an organization, you have a group of men who have come together with one vision, one purpose, and one brand, and said, we're going to move forward with securing the future of the African American male. That's our one marching order that we have. Everything that we do, everything that we are comprised of when it comes to BPM has to do with that. And even that filters into our businesses that we have. Because part of my business is being able to take young men teaching them about entrepreneurship, teaching them about certain skill sets that they can have, equipping them with certain skill sets, equipping them with certain ways of thinking. So you think about your brand and you think about your business and how it affects the young men that come through or that you may encounter being a part of Black professional men. And how your business plays a part in securing their future. That's part of your brain. That's part of how you do what you do as far as your business. So you want to think about that. So part one was, like I said, what does your business look like? That's your vision, that's your purpose, that's your brand, all of those things. How do you see yourself in each of those three things? And I want you to write those down. That'll be a part of what I call your 10 assignments, okay? So, and we'll get to that, but that'll be part of your 10 assignments. So is to figure out your vision, figure out your purpose, and to figure out your brand. Those three things, okay? So we're gonna we'll get to that. Like I said, we'll get to the assignments at the towards the end of the webinar. So part two is what I call the developing your fear factor. And most of us remember the show that came on TV, Fear Factor, right? And the contest that they had you doing these things that just really kind of made you nervous about doing certain things because they had you doing crazy things. But when I talk about fear, and I'm taking the fear out of Fear Factor, is an acronym for facing every assignment relentlessly. As an entrepreneur, as a business person, as a brand, you should be facing every assignment relentlessly. That means for your clients, you go all in. For your business, you go all in. There is no half-stepping about it. There is no hesitation about who you are, what you do. You must walk into every meeting. You must walk into every potential client meeting. You must walk into every networking event with a fearless, determined mindset that you belong there. That's what that fear factor mindset is. That means you understand that the assignment that you're on has to be attacked, and you're not going to let anything deter you from doing what it is that you want to do, being who it is that your business is purposed to be. Because if you go back to what you talked about and defining your purpose, when you define your purpose, you go into those assignments with your purpose relentlessly. You go after it relentlessly. KNF Enterprises, when we see a project, when we see a partnership, when we see a sponsorship that we know fits with what we are trying to do, we go after it without hesitation. It's like, let's do it. If we're sitting at a meeting and we come up with we're sitting at a meeting and we may have a partnership that we're trying to develop, we have a sponsorship that we want to do, and we see that what the event is fits with what we're doing, then we go after it relentlessly. Just to give you an example, this weekend I had a meeting with a business associate this weekend. We wound up talking and we sat down briefly and talked about how was it that we could work together. How was it that we could partner together to do and accomplish what each of us wanted to do? She does a certain type of business that fit into the type of part of what I do and offer as a business. So I was like, well, why don't we partner together? I'll bring these particular clients to you because they need this particular work. She has some clients or individuals that she can refer to me, and it becomes a partnership. It became a partnership that day. And one of your branding strategies should be developing partnerships. Part of your branding strategy, and we'll talk a little bit about that too, part of your branding strategy should be sponsorships. As a business, you should be sponsoring certain events in your particular industry. Find some events that you can be a sponsor of to give you exposure. That's what going after those assignments relentlessly is about. And not having any fear, understanding that, I should say not having any fear, but moving forward in spite of the fear. Because we may have doubts, we may have thoughts and everything like that, but what happens is those who are great move forward in spite of the fear. They move past the fear. So you're able to accomplish the assignments that you go after because you've gone beyond the fear. And it becomes a thing where you're determined to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. So don't let anything deter you. Don't let anything keep you from accomplishing those assignments that you set out to get to. That's what being relentless is about. Be relentless about your business. You should be relentless about your business right now. And that's what 2018 is all about. It's about being relentless and going after where you want to be in 2018. The fear goes out the window. You know, a lot of people, when they talk about fear, the acronym, of course, they give you for fear is false evidence appearing real. Well, I'm giving you a new definition of fear, a new definement acronym for fear, and that is facing every assignment relentlessly. As a Black professional man, as a Black professional woman, you must go after your assignments relentlessly. And if you fail hard. Get up, dust yourself off, and you go after it again. You learn from it, you adjust to it, but you keep moving forward. That's what fear factor is about. So you definitely want to do that, okay? And with the fear factor, it's about setting your business up from a quarterly perspective. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And I use this example. I use the track and field analogy. As a track, if you look at a track, it's actually broken up into 200 quarters. You have the first quarter, which is 200 yards, that first hook. The second 200 is the straightaway. The third quarter is the other hook. And then the fourth quarter is the straightaway coming down to the finish line. That's what you want to look at your business as, okay? You want to look at your business from that perspective. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. We've already done the first quarter and second quarter. We are at the beginning or the middle of the third quarter. The first month, middle of that first month of the third quarter, because that's July. The quarters are January, February, March, April, May, June, and then July, August, and September. So this third quarter is July, August, and September. That's your third quarter. Your first quarter was about your foundation, establishing yourself. What did you want to do in 2018? Getting adjusted to the new year, coming in with a new perspective, understanding what it is that you wanted to do at the beginning of the year, right? That was the foundation that you had. Your second quarter was about positioning. How are you positioning yourself in the market? How are you positioning yourself in the industry? What are those things that you're doing to kind of get your business and your brand and your name out there? What were you doing? What are you doing? What did you do? That was the second quarter, your positioning. So your first quarter was about your foundation. Second quarter was about your positioning. And now your third quarter is about that push. It's about that push. The third quarter is about that push. It's about pushing through so that you can finish strong. The fourth quarter is about finishing strong. But you're in that push phase right now. First phase, foundation. Second phase is positioning. Third phase is push. Now that you've positioned yourself, now you can push. You push forward. That's what that's about. And I don't know how many of you are horse racing fans, but this past last month when they had the Belmont Stakes, the Kentucky Derby, and the Preakness, the same horse won the horse won the Triple Crown this year. It's the first time in a long time that the Triple Crown has been won. That means that, and I think the horse's name, I want to say the horse's name was Justice. I don't quote me on that, but the horse that won the Triple Crown, that it won the Belmont Stakes. I mean, it won the Kentucky Derby, it won the Preakness, and then it won the Belmont Stakes. And that feat is something that is just not done often. It is a rarity in horse racing. But this particular horse pushed through and won all three of those races, of those horse races, which is phenomenal. And the interesting thing is, because when I started to hear about it, I read a little bit about the trainer. And the trainer that trained the horse that won this particular Triple Crown has trained former Triple Crown winners before. So he knew what needed to be done in order to be able to get his horse prepared for those three races. He understood that his horse had to have a foundation when it first started in that first leg of the race, in all three races. That it had to be at a certain position going into the second leg of the races, of those horse races. And then the third leg of it, he knew how to train his horse to push. There was a certain time that the jockey had to push the horse. He had to push him, because if he did not push him, then the horse may not have been going as fast as he needed to go in order to be able to win all three races. And then the fourth leg of that was about finishing strong. Everyone who understands track and field, knows and understands that it's all about the finish. It's all about the finish. Can you finish strong? And you want to be able to, and make sure that you have that last kick. And I always remember this. My father was a track coach, amongst other coaches, but he coached track and field. And when I used to be out watching the guys practice, he always emphasized to them about having a kick at the end and having that strong finish. You always had have to have enough energy at the end to be able to push forward. And where you are right now is at the position where you're pushing yourself because you're getting ready for the finish. And you've got to push yourself so that when you get into that last leg of 2018, you still have enough energy to move forward and to push forward. You still have enough to keep going and not be deterred by any obstacles that you might have. That, throughout the year you might have had this happen and that happened, and this might have not worked well, or this might not have gone the way you wanted it to go. But in spite of it, you still pushed, and you still finished strong. So that's what that's about. So you want to make sure that you're pushing right now. This third quarter is about pushing. So for the next 3 months, I want you to push as hard as you can, whether it's anything that has to do with your business. If that means you have to gain more partnerships, then that means you go out and you find the partnerships that you need to develop. If you need to do more social media, if you need to be on social media more for your business to get exposure, then you do that. If you need to have more events on your calendar, setting up where you as a business do more events, then you do that. If you need to be on other networking events calendars, then you do that. If you need to do an assessment of your products and services, if you need to eliminate a service, if you need to, or a product, if you need to add a product or service, then you do that. Or if you need to tweak something, you want to push and do those things. Get those things done in the next 3 months. That's another one of your assignments, is to figure out where you need to push. Let me say that again. I want you to write it down. Figure out where you need to push. Whether it's partnerships, whether it's partnerships, sponsorships, whether it's technology, increasing your technology exposure, whether it's your calendar, your personal calendar, having more that you do as far as a business on your calendar, or if you need to be on more calendars, if you need to network more and be on other events calendars, if you need to increase your product or service, if you need to decrease a product or service, if you need to change a product or service, those are the things that you need to push. And you need to lastly push your brand. Figure out what it is that you stand for as a brand, as a business. What's your culture? And you push it everywhere you go. You need to have a 30-second pitch. You need to be like Google, that if anybody says certain keywords, you automatically go into your 30-second pitch. You go into your talking about your business, because that's how you're going to get more clients. That's how you're going to get more customers. That's how you're going to be able to grow your brand. By doing that, by pushing yourself, by pushing your business, by pushing your brand. So you've got to push. You've got to push. That's what you want to do. So number 3, that's number 2. So we said step 1 or part 1 was your, what does your business look like? Step 2 was your fear factor, right? What's the fear factor? You're facing every assignment relentlessly. Number 3 is your, what I call preparing or being prepared, understanding, training, and talent. Time and talent, I'm sorry. Not training, but time and talent. That's being prepared, understanding, your timing, your time, and your talent. I call it your putt game. I don't know how many of you play golf, but your putt game in golf is essential to, or you have to have that as a part of your being good at your putt game in golf in order to be able to be successful. One of the things that I believe made Tiger Woods as successful as he was in golf is his putt game or short game. So in business, you want to make sure that your putt game is on point. And what I mean by that, I mean this. I mean, like I said, you want to be prepared. You want to understand. You want to be cognizant of your time, and then you want to understand your talent or your gift. And how do you put your putt game into action? You do that by understanding your industry. Understanding your industry, understanding where your industry is, what your industry is, where it is now, and then where it's going to be in 2018, where it's going to be in 2018. So, or by the end of 2018, where we are now in July, and then where you want to be in by the end of 2018, understanding your industry where it is and doing a proper assessment of your industry. So understand that your industry outlook, where your industry is now, and then where your industry is actually going at the end of 2018. And you really want to make sure that you have a keen understanding of your industry with everything that's going on in the world right now. You really want to be honed in on the things that are affecting your industry and do your homework with that. You really want to make sure that you that you're plugged in to the things that are going on in your industry, because industries are being turned upside down right now with everything that's going on, and they may shift, and you have to be able to adjust to those shifts that are going on. So it's imperative that you that you have that industry outlook. Okay. So the second thing is your budgeting and forecasting. Hopefully you had a budget for this year, for 2018. But if you didn't, then this is the opportunity to be able to sit down and do a budget. You want to sit down and you want to do a budget. You want to get with a financial planner, or get with a business coach or business consultant, someone who can sit down and go over with you a budget and a forecast, which is nothing more than putting together the numbers that you want to have for this year, especially for the remainder of the year. If you already had a budget then for this year, then you want to see where you are in respect to that budget that you already developed for this year. Are you on target? That was one of the things that I learned in the hospitality industry, being a manager, being a GM in the hospitality, and then actually now running my own business. How important a budget is, and understanding what's in your budget, what's not in your budget, what you can do, what you can't do, those things that allow you to be able to run your business more effectively. And having a budget is one of those things, because you'll have a full understanding of what you kind of plan for, and then what you may need to plan for next year. Because what you should be doing as far as your budgeting and forecasting is you're doing it on a monthly basis, and you're able to actually see how much the expenses that you're incurring, how your cash flow is, where your money is coming in at, where your money is flowing out to. That's what your budget allows you to be able to do. That's going to allow you to be able to be as effective as you can be and should be as a business, because you don't run a successful business by just going on a whim and not knowing where your money's going, and where your money's coming in, not knowing where your money's coming in from, and not knowing where your money's flowing out to. So you want to make sure that you have a budget and you have a forecast for your business, so that you can properly run your business, and you can know the things, like I said, you can know the things that you have coming up that you'll have to do. There are things that you may not be able to do because of your budget constraints. Be like, and as an entrepreneur, you should not be afraid to say that's not in my budget. If you can't travel to certain places, then because it's not in your budget, it's not in your budget. But the following year, 2019, hey, I really want to go to this particular event. So I know I have to put this in my budget. I have to have a money set aside in order to be able to do this particular thing. I'll give you an example. I tell my clients, my author clients, that they should be going to three major conferences or festivals a year. I'm talking big ones. I'm talking where they may have to travel. They're going to have to stay in a hotel. They're going to be there for a couple of days. They should have 3 major ones that they go to. Okay, which means they have to budget for them. They select those particular events that they want to go to, and then they want to make sure that they have it in their budget, what it's going to cost. I'm talking registration, hotel, Uber, the travel from the airport. All of those things need to be encompassed in that, so you know what your budget should be or needs to be for that particular event. And you want to have 3 of them. As a business owner, you may not need to travel, but you should have those particular things that you are a part of in your budget that you're doing in order to be able to grow your particular business. Whether it's a particular networking event, it might be a networking event that you want to attend. It may be an event that that Black Professional Men has that's going on. Black Professional Men has a number of events that you can be a sponsor for, that you can partner with. So you want to have those things as a part of your budget and part of your forecast. And when you have that, that allows you, in order to be able to grow your business, that allows you to be able to grow your brand and be able to do what it is that you want to do as far as your business is concerned. So the second thing was your budgeting and forecasting. The third thing is, like I said, partnership building partnerships. You should be building partnerships within your industry and even within an organization. If you are a member of BPM, then you should be building your business relationships there. If you're not a member of BPM and you are a Black male in the Baltimore area, then you should be a member of BPM and make sure that that is part of your partnership building. That is part of your brand building. That is part of your purpose building. Because you want to make sure that you are partnering with individuals that will allow you to be able to grow as a business, because you can cross-market your business with another business, and you make it mutually beneficial for you and that particular business. Like I just mentioned to you, the partnership that I developed this weekend, but I have another partnership that I developed with a company that she does. She's a graphic designer. She's a graphic designer. I have authors that need book covers. So we developed this partnership, drew up a partnership agreement where the authors that I got that needed book covers, she's who I will refer them to, and who I would have to do the books. Same thing with her, where if she has individuals that she meets that need to publish their book, or they need to have certain publishing services or even entrepreneur or business consulting done, she refers them to me. So that's how your partnerships work. And even the sponsorships that you can do can work the same way. With the sponsorships, you get to have your logo, your name attached to certain events. I have J&F that is a part of 2 events that are coming up the next 2 weekends. Why? Because I'm a sponsor of those events. J&F is a sponsor of those events. So my name gets out there, my brand gets out there, and I get to grow my business because of who I am associated with, and because of the sponsorships that I had with them. See how much time we got left. Oh wow! So that's the partnerships. And in the future, you want to look at the future. You want to look at, like I said, you want to look at the end of 2018. Where do you want to be at the end of 2018? Because that's it. What you'll hear me say, and what you've heard me say, if you haven't heard me say, is I'm on a mission this year, 2018, to make you better. by the end of 2018 than you were at the beginning of 2018. Why? Because I want you to be in a better position at the end of 2018 than you were at the beginning of 2018. And the only way that I get you there, the only way that I get there is by giving you the tools that you need that is going to equip you to be able to do that. Hopefully this has done that for you this evening. And part 4 is the 10 assignments. I want you, this is your assignment. You have 10 assignments. I'm not calling them goals. I'm not calling them resolutions. These are your 10, a minimum of 10. And of course, you can do more than 10 assignments. But you have 10 assignments that you must write down that you want to accomplish between now and the end of 2018. 10. What are 10 things that you want to do? If that's write your vision, that's one of your assignments. It's to write your purpose, that's another one. If it's to do some research on your particular industry, that's another one. If it's to develop your budget, that's another one. If it's to do more marketing, to do that. Whatever those 10 assignments are, that's what you're going to hold yourself accountable for doing and accomplishing by the end of 2018. How are you going to accomplish them? I'm glad you asked. Glad you asked that question. I know you did. I know you asked that question. That's why I said I'm glad you asked. But here's how you accomplish those 10 assignments. You accomplish those 10 assignments by putting an action plan together or a plan of action together, and you implementing it. What are you going to do? How are you going to accomplish those 10 assignments? That's your plan of action. Yes, you have to have a strategy for how you're going to get to be better by the end of 2018 than you were at the beginning of 2018. There has to be a strategy. There has to be a plan. What does that action plan look like? That's one of your assignments, is to sit down and put together that action plan. You have your 10 assignments that you got to write down. Then you have to come with your action steps. And then here's the third thing with that. Here's the last thing, and then I'm gone. The last thing that is implementing it. It does you no good to have a plan of action, to have 10 assignments, to go through all of this that I gave you tonight and not implement it. It does you no good to have a plan of action. It does you no good to have a vision, to have a purpose, to have a brand, to take on the fear factor mindset, to have a putt game, to understand your relationships, to write down 10 assignments, to have a plan of action and not implement it. You just wasted your time. And we're not about wasting our time. We're on a mission to achieve and be better by the end of 2018 than we were at the beginning of 2018. And we do that by implementing our action steps. So that's one of your assignments, is to implement those action steps. Develop those 10 assignments, develop the action steps, and then the third piece of that is to implement them every single day. You wake up with the mindset of, what assignment do I need to accomplish today? How am I going to accomplish it today? So just to review, I'm going to give you these five steps again, and then and then I'm done. So that's step one, or I should say part one. Part one was what does your 2018 business look like? That's your vision, your purpose, your brand. Your vision, your purpose, your brand. Part two was the fear factor, facing every assignment relentlessly. You got to do it. Face every assignment relentlessly. Part three was actually your putt game. That's being prepared. That's understanding your time and your talent. Being prepared, understand your time and your talent. That's part three. Part four are your assignments. What are your 10 assignments for between that you want to achieve between now and the end of this year in 2018. And those assignments, number 5 is your game plan. What's your plan of action in order to be able to achieve those assignments? Got that? And then the final thing is implementing that plan of action. So those are your 5 steps. Okay? So this is part 2 of the series. We'll be back next month, where we'll have another topic that we'll be discussing with you. Another more than just a topic, but another thing that will be another development series, part 3 of the development series, so that you will be enlightened, empowered, and impacted, and giving you the tools that you can be, so that you can have and be successful Black professional men, Black professional women, or professional men, professional women that you were meant to be, and take you, your business, and your brand to the next level. Because what? We're on a mission this year to make you better by the end of 2018 than you were at the beginning of 2018. So my name is Leroy McKenzie Jr. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for being with us, Black professional men. For those of you who may not or have not joined Black professional men, please consider joining Black professional men as an organization. It's a great organization, as I mentioned, that is about securing the future of the African American male, impacting our community, impacting the young men that are coming behind us, generations that are behind us. So you want to seriously consider being a part of it. We're doing some great things, have some great tools and networking events that go on, as well as just a great organization to be a part of, to kind of network and be around other men that have a vision, a similar vision, and a similar purpose for what it is that we want to do, where we come together. We may be from different industries, but we have one common goal. We have one common assignment. I'll put it that way. One common assignment we have as men, and that's to secure the future of the African American male. So you want to definitely consider joining Black professional men. You can go to the website and check it out as well, and that's BPM Inc. Black professional men. You can type in blackprofessionalmen.org is the website. Go check it out. You can actually see we have our general meeting the second Wednesday of every month. You want to check that out. And amongst the different events, there's a mastermind group the first Monday of each month. We have the brand new development series going on right now, the third Monday of each month. There's also other events that are going on too. You can check within the website. There's an events calendar that's there that'll give you all of the different events that are going on. Black Professional Men is doing so much in and around the community that you really want to be plugged in to everything that's going on or that we have going on with you. So again, my name is Leroy McKenzie Jr. I'm on a mission to make you better by the end of 2018 than you were at the beginning of 2018. Be unstoppable. We'll talk to you soon. Come on back next month, in the month of August, the third Monday in August. We look forward to seeing you there. Peace out.